There's something to be said about the Texas heat right now.
Ignore it. Get your butt outside.
Which is exactly, as they say here in Texas, what we're fixing to do.
There's a free campground around here that not that many people know about.
The hose has expanded and does not create a seal around this outlet right here. So we have to, basically, Osprey will take care of this for us, but it's a little more trouble than it's worth for a hydration system.
We're gonna see about getting a new one.
I think I might know just the place for that.
Are we going outside?
We are now. We're gonna go get some groceries and we're gonna be right back. We're not taking you into the grocery store. We did that on the last video.
Can we not buy the same this time?
No promises. All right, groceries galore. Gotta buy Melody a new hydration system for her backpack.
Yep. I'm kind of excited about that though.
Yeah, we're going to backwoods for a minute. You don't normally see that in our truck, but one of the benefits of working where I work, they let me borrow cool stuff. That'll keep us cool for the rest of the day and night, and probably the week. Right off the bat, I think we found a really good camp spot. It's kind of down here by the creek, which that is nasty looking water. I don't think we're getting in that. If we're gonna swim, we'll probably drive over to the boat ramp. But this is really secluded and it's down in an embankment. Kind of nice. The mosquitoes are gonna be bad tonight, but we bought some lotion to put on to help with that. Unfortunately, there's a burn ban, but it is so hot we probably won't need fire anyway. But at least we have the grill and we have charcoal. As awesome as that campsite was, we think we might still want it, but that pool of water down there is stagnant and we don't want to get tore up with mosquitoes. So it might be actually better to camp on higher ground just so we're not as close to the water. But we're driving around, we're gonna see what the other options are. If we end up back there, so be it. Campsite number 8's got a sidewalk next to it. Leads up into what looks to be a group campsite. Notice the massive amount of tables and the giant grill. Yeah, well, this is a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. I swear, finding a camp spot in the middle of the day is so hard because you have so many options. You know, you have time to take a look and see what's around you. Finding a camp spot in the middle of the night is so much easier because you just pull in, you're tired, and you just go with the first thing you see. And chances are you'll probably change it or be okay with it in the morning. Right now, we're going through the hardship of having to find a camp spot in a rather small park. It's an empty park too, that's what's making it so difficult. Actually getting some thunder back this way, so I think we're gonna sit tight on setting up camp for sure until we know exactly what the weather's gonna do. We're gonna have to resort to our devices to check the weather, but I think it's gonna rain at some point. Let me ask Melody, see what she wants to do.
Just watching those clouds.
Yeah, there's evidence of a storm coming in right there. Look at the way those trees are blowing sideways. Not only that, but you can see the murky water coming in our direction from the wind. It's actually kind of cool, but it's a little creepy. We just got to figure out whether we want to stay in this mess or not. Yep, there's the rain right there. We're feeling the droplets because the wind's blowing them at us. I don't know if it's coming at us or not, though. I don't think we should panic just yet.
I welcome the rain. Bring it!
Just never ask the weather, is that all you got? That's a bad idea. If you do that, it's gonna answer. We went ahead and pulled everything off of the table and put it inside the truck. Yeah, it's pouring rain right now, as you can tell. And there's Melody, she's loving it. I like it too, but I need to keep my camera dry, and I wanted to come sit in the truck here and give you a glimpse of the rain on the windshield so you can see the rain. And I'm sitting in the air conditioner because it's super humid out there right now.
It's like swimming in a lake, only running. There's more out there. I can hear it coming.
I can hear it too. Should be a really curiously, weirdly wet evening. She just realized that she doesn't have her camera. And when you're standing in front of a sunset like that, yeah, you need a camera. Cool. I think she's gonna drive down here. I think purple's my color. We tried to start a fire, our wood was just too wet. It was burning, but we're not gonna cook on it. We're gonna wake up at Inks Lake and start a whole new day. Probably a whole new day of rain, but at least we'll have all day to figure out what to do about that.
And we have a lake to swim in.
Oh wow, there's a whole crew out walking around. You know what I bet they're doing? They're out playing Pokemon Go. I just know it. We found ourselves at Inks Lake, like always. Well, it took us a while to get our fire started, but we finally did. And wouldn't you know it, now we're tired. We will see you all in the morning. Woke up here at Inks Lake. It's about 7:30. We cowboy camped it under the stars, and believe it or not, it wasn't all that hot. Never rained on us. Here we have the makings of another questionable weather day.
It's okay to come out here during the summertime. There's plenty of water.
See, in the summertime, we usually don't want a tent because we don't want those walls blocking our flow of air. So we cowboy camp it just like that, and it works out well. I believe that my good night's sleep is because of that stuff right there, the picaridin. Some of the best anti-bug stuff I have ever put on me. It's time to take a look at the Yeti and see how the ice is doing. If there's any ice left at all. There is a lot of water, but there's still a ton of ice. I put the hydro flask in here with the lid open so that I could pre-cool it and make it cold on the outside and the inside, and then when I put something in there, it'll stay colder even longer. We've been getting campsites closer to trash cans lately, mainly because it's just too hot to get out into the back country. What is this little squirrel doing? It looks like he's gnawing on fur. Well, the temperature has been beautiful this morning, but there it is, folks. That is our arch nemesis for the day. That's Mr. Sun. That's gonna raise the temperature up probably over 103, anywhere from 103 to 105 today. It's a lot easier to find a good camp spot in the dark because you settle quicker. That's Inks Dam over there, and I believe that's where the National Fish Hatchery is. I prefer a little bit more char. I don't know if you can hear that back there, but it's a huge crowd of people. I think they're having some type of boat race. I think I'm gonna avoid the carbs on this one. Save that for later. Well, I would say this is as good of a swimming hole as any. Clear water, green algae, beautiful. Swim time. Ooh. It's the perfect amount of overcast. It's not really too blazing hot right now because it's covered up, but we have this beautiful little swimming hole that we're walking down to. It's one of the reasons we love coming to Inks Lake, because swimming is so easily accessible and it's not really all that scary either. The lake seems really clean. Okay, so we got phase 1 of our swimming adventure done today. Now this is a pretty big park. There's a lot to do here, but in my opinion, hanging out in areas like this where there's no one around and you're just kind of frolicking around in the natural water.
That's what we love to do.
We also like to observe these little strips of quartz that sort of bubble out from the granite. It's one of the things that makes Burnet, Texas and Llano, Texas so beautiful. Yeah, this is getting ridiculous. Another cool thing about this campsite 326 is it has perfect access to the hiking trail. Scattered remnants of a being that once was but is no more. We're choosing to go around Ant World. I think we can go up this way. Leads us to the fishing pier. That's a place that we know oh so well. We've spent many nights spending hours catching nothing and catching something sometimes.
I caught a sunfish there. Nobody was there to see it.
I walked up when you already had it on your hook.
Mm-hmm.
So I can vouch for you.
Yep. Everything's shiny because of all the spider webs.
Hey, there's his brother. And we're gonna take the trail back to our campsite. See? Told you it was gonna be a quick and painless hike.
Woohoo! We got to go hiking.
Guess we're gonna go finish breaking camp and get on the road to a new destination. If only we were streaming this live so you could all give us suggestions. But I guess you'll just have to wait and see what we come up with. We just noticed something. Today's the 26th, and our sticker here is good through the 27th. We just realized that, and we are now second guessing our move.
I guess we can go explore the countryside.
Blazing hot, but we're still gonna get a fire started, are we not?
Gotta make dinner somehow.
awesome sunset.
So if you're ever in a pinch, this is pretty good toilet paper. Just make sure you check it really well.
You want to make sure there's not one of these guys on it. We have really good bug protection on, so all these little bugs you see flying around us, to us, it's just like cute little fairies. 14 hours from now, it'll be our worst enemy. Well, the bed we were going to use tonight got wet, but that doesn't matter because it's still going to be the bed we're going to use tonight. We were using the logs to weight it down because the winds today were ferocious. This little guy came crawling out of our bed. Nice. I'm glad he's not in there anymore. That is one mean looking scorpion. He's got his tail ready to go. I'm not gonna mess with him. So that's what we went with. Sunshade, tarp, sleeping pads, good stuff. So that wraps it up for this trip. Thank you for joining us on this Texas Hill Country adventure. I'm Clint.
And I'm Melody. Don't forget to click that thumbs up button, subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram.
And don't forget to get out and go camping.